another episode of In the Library of Graphic Literature with your host, Mr. Walzerine.
Hi. And Luna, pew, 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 pew. Great introduction there, by the way. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Now, a little bit of news on the Neil Gaiman front. The Graveyard book is being made into a movie. It should be cool.
I haven't even read it yet.
Oh, I got it there in the graphic novel. But I just...
Of course you do.
Yeah, of course you do. I just realized something terrible that when I was reading it was just like, oh my God, Disney is doing it. But, you know, it still might turn out okay because it's not... It's kind of a PG book.
They might make a comedy of it.
Oh God, I hope not. It's cool. It's cool enough as it is, right? It's one of my favorites. So this is our third shot at it. We had some technical problems when we were out in nature, and
yeah, it just wouldn't focus.
Yeah, and people almost got their heads chopped off accidentally. We won't talk about it.
I just got too into the character.
Yeah. Oh, it was very well done.
I was just going blazing glory with my sword.
You know what? You put Red Sonja to shame, you know that? I think, right? So, it's raining out here in the far reaches of North America.
So, our first book, we have Captain Action, the classic collection by Gil Kane, Wally Wood, Jim Shooter, and introduction by Mark Waid.
Now this has and it's something I opened right to it. This was something as a kid. I'll always remember this comic. This is when I was telling you about the earthquake and all the cracks opening up and people falling in and stuff like that. And it terrified me as a child because I thought, geez, this is what earthquakes are. So when I'd hear about an earthquake in Los Angeles or Chile or wherever it was in the world, that's what I thought was happening. But and of course, you know, always then left with, you know, the kid crying there, but amazing Gil Kane artwork in this throughout all this. This guy is one of my favorite. This guy sort of co-invented the modern Green Lantern. He designed the new sleek costume that you've seen in that terrible Green Lantern movie, right? But worth getting. Okay, next up.
And next we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin, by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird.
And then a bunch
Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, Laird, yeah.
Laird.
And this one's kind of interesting because it's the story of, obviously there's only one turtle left, but you don't know for long, and I'm not going to say who. You don't know who it is. You kind of suspect one or another. But the others are gone, and he's trying to take revenge on the Foot Clan and all that, and then he recruits April back into it, and I haven't gotten far enough into it to really give away too much, but it's a great turtle story.
The artwork looks really nice.
Oh, it's really cool, and it reminds me of what it was like. Here, I'll show the folks when it originally came out, because it was a great action comic, and it was actually more of a parody comic. It was making fun of 1980s comics, and it itself became a big hit, right? But the art is great. The only thing was, when it was coming out, there were a lot of delays between issues, and that's so, you know, at least this way you get to read the whole thing in one big go. The Last Ronin from IDW, just like the Captain Action was from IDW.
And we're finally happy to say that there's a Sandman thing coming out.
Oh yes, the
series.
Yeah.
Is it like a Netflix or?
I think it's Netflix, and looking forward to it. Apparently Neil has given it, you know, his thumbs up and all that. He's pleased with what they did.
I was really hoping for that when I was like a teenager, so I was like 15 when I first got into reading the Sandman, and yeah. I had an ex-girlfriend of mine actually introduced me to it, and I stumbled across it in the library, and to be honest, it kept me away from drugs, so do comics, not drugs, kids.
Exactly, right? When I was growing up, I just did comics.
I tried to look it up to see if there was a TV show of it or a movie, but they were thinking about it, but it never actually went through.
Yeah, it'd been like some movies, it's in and out of development. There was talk of it, not talk of it. People were driven crazy with it. And when this finally, and at first people thought, oh, Netflix, yeah, sure, they're going to do, but more and more it was coming together, and then, you know, it's just like, okay, we got the first season or whatever done. Mm-hmm. You're like, well, they've done it, right? And like I say, with Neil being involved in it, I have a bit more faith than other shows, right? Like Walking Dead, at least Robert Kirkman, the writer, was involved, right?
I mean, I'm really hoping the death character still has like the little curlicue there on like the side of the eye, like the eye forest, because to me that's like the trademark of her character, and if she just doesn't have that, then I'm just like don't know what to do.
Yeah, you know what?
Like, they can't take that away from the character.
No. After we were talking about it the other day, I thought of something. It's just like, well, how about like when she's by herself, they have her as her classic punk character, but when she's appearing to other people, she appears like them as a, you know, Death Cat or you know, an Asian death.
I'm just hoping she still has like that gothic element and really like edgy, like.
Yeah, really, because it really was a big part of her personality, right? Mm. You know, it's. But yes, yeah, I'm hoping for the same too, right?
Next up, we have the question Omnibus by Dennis O'Neill and Dennis Cohen. Is it just another way of spelling Dennis?
Dennis, yeah, it is. I used to pronounce it denies, right? And then someone said to me, Dennis. It's just like, oh, okay. But yeah, Dennis O'Neill and Dennis Cohen, the two Dennises. And funny enough, the other Dennis that we know, Dennis, he was posting pictures of this because he got his copy far earlier than me. When it comes to collectors, I mean, it's, you know, getting it earlier, there's a certain pride to it, right? Mm. But, and this character, you know, the guy who co-created Spider-Man, Steve Ditko, you've heard me talk about him time and again. He created the question originally. And it's a really weird character. He just has just this mask that he pulls over himself. And he just goes out and he takes no prisoners. Now this is supposed to be this is supposed to be a good series too. This is what everyone always liked, this version of the question, right? Hmm. And he has, like I say, he wears just his mask that...
I don't think they can see it from there.
Oh, yes. Thank you. And this is actually one particularly good one. And I was a big fan of the old Ditko ones just because of the art was cool, right? But the art is good in this one, Dennis Cowan. Great artwork, good storytelling. Now it's a lot of reading. I think this is going to go right onto the reading stack, of course. So check it out if you're a fan of Dennis Cowan. Denny O'Neill. He just died recently, and he was it recently or a while ago? And he was known for a lot of good DC comics. And this apparently this a lot. He was most famous for one, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, but I think after that, this is probably the one he's most famous for after that, right? Now, he only writes so much of it, so when he stops writing it, I may not even buy volume 2. If I find out, I gotta check to see where his run on it ends, because apparently most people say that it's not that great after he leaves. But yeah, I love that cover, right?
Yeah, it works beautiful for that.
Yeah. And it has that...
It's very wistful and dreamlike.
Yeah. Bit of noir thrown in there, you know. Some gangsters and police and...
Kind of gives me like the original Sandman vibes before, like, Gaiman.
Yes, yeah, he, Sienkiewicz, the guy who did it, he, I could say, I wonder if, did he do any covers for... I don't think he did it. No, I don't think he did any covers for any Gaiman stuff now that I think about it. But he's one of my favorite artists just because he has such a unique and quirky and abstract look to it all. It's pretty cool. Yeah, geez, there's not much in terms of way of comic news. Ever since the pandemic hit, it's just like the only news has been famous comic book artists dying and stuff like that, you know, and the book's been delayed.
And Disney making a mockery of all the comic books they can possibly think of.
Oh God. I gotta say, I've heard a lot of people, and it's funny you say that because I heard a lot of people who talked about Marvel and DC and going in, and all they find, like on DC, Batman, and it's just like, geez, this is the only good comic this company puts out. All the rest is crap, right? And same too with Marvel. You know, I know Disney kind of has made a pig's breakfast of the whole thing, right? But you know, I prefer when they keep the movies separate too from the comics, right? You know, they're different universes, right? And that keeps the people from changing characters too, you know, too much, right? So, now, geez, what is it? Dennis and I are doing a split top 10 list, 5 of the comics that lived up to our expectations and the 5 that didn't live up to our expectations. Flops, yeah. So 5 good big ones, 5 that. Geez, what else? The COMIX Positive, my typies, they're still going on strong.
And you still haven't heard from New York?
No, still. Well, I'm pushing. I'm campaigning now, right? So people out there, you know, call comic book resources and say, you know, you should hire that Wallace Ron guy. You know, he'd be really cool, right?
Don't reach.
Don't reach. Okay. Anyway, and hopefully now next week I'm hoping to have that book I was telling you about. Oh, here it is. Here, Tearing the Pirates. It's this comic strip, but it's in a bigger edition. It's supposed to be a lot nicer. As a matter of fact, when it comes in, I'll show you like the couple of strips from the volume of both the volumes, and there is a nice difference. So I love those folks. Oh, well, what do you think? I guess it's hot enough in the studio. It's a very warm, humid night here in St. John's, and that's it. I guess tune in, like I say, for hopefully Tearing the Pirates for sure, and who knows, might even be some other comic thrown in. In the meantime, thanks for laying down these tunes, and keep on reading comics. Okay, play us on out.